Okay, so I don't know what is there somebody who ever explains to students what office hours are? I'm realizing that every single semester I have to tell students, especially ones that are first coming into college, I have to explain to them what office hours are. I'm wondering if they just don't have it in high school. I should ask my brother if these things actually exist. Yeah, like students don't actually come to my office hours as much as I would like them to. I would like to be very busy during my office hours, but not enough of them come. And I've been asking them exactly why, and I've gotten a range of responses. So I'm trying to kind of clear the air on exactly what these things are. So faculty members in college are required to have office hours where they are required to be in their office and available to students and those set and during those set hours. They usually are drop-in, so you don't even need to make an appointment. You just show up. I usually am sitting in my office, twiddling my thumbs during this period because a lot of students don't show up. And I cannot understand for the life of me why students wouldn't want to take advantage of it. And the reason I say this is I don't think students realize just how valuable this particular time is. Like, if I were to put a dollar amount on how much I would charge a student for 1 hour with me in that sort of setting, just chatting about whatever, it could be about life, it could be about, courses or whatever. If I was in the private sector and I had to charge students, I would charge anywhere from $200 to $300 in an hour, right? Like, that's how much I would charge. Um, I think that might be kind of close to how some of these faculty members are paid by their, possibly more, maybe less if you're like a lecturer. But like it's still quite a bit of money, and you're letting that money kind of go down the drain by not taking advantage of these office hours. Faculty are, my experience has been most faculty want to be there for their students. They care. There are a few, in research institutions, there might be a few that are so focused on their research. But even then, if you're talking about I mean, I'm assuming that you're going to go in and talk to the faculty member about something that they're teaching, I'm guessing, or something adjacent to it. It's going to be something they're passionate about anyway, and they want to talk about, right? You should think of it as like not necessarily doing them a favor, but they're not going to be mad at you for showing up to office hours in most cases, right? Most of them love having students over and having these conversations. And I think probably the biggest thing is that these office hours are a chance for you to get good quality, like one-on-one or small setting, more intimate sort of engagement with the faculty member. And I think it does a couple of things. One, you see that the faculty member is not anything particularly special. They're a human being like anyone else. Okay. In fact, going to their office could be really eye-opening. I've been to some of my own professors going to their office and being like, "Ooh, wow! I see the disorienting nature of the work that you do, or maybe the way that you organize your office, because things are all over the place." Versus like faculty members, I'm like, "Whoa, super organized," and they look like they're really on top of it, right? Um, but I think you also gain a lot in terms of not just the exposure to that more intimate setting, but through that, you gain a deeper insight both into the topics that you might be discussing, but also into getting to know one another. And that's probably going to be the most important thing. Like, I mean, I'm assuming that a lot of students actually will want or need to look for letters of recommendation at some point. And it's really hard to write a letter of recommendation or to connect with a student or to like work with a student to help them out to, want to really like I have a really hard time being there for a student that I don't really know very well. And it's not necessarily because I don't want to be there for them in the ways that is appropriate. It's it's that sometimes I don't know because I just don't know the student well enough. And office hours are the opportunity to really get to know them. Even if it's just career oriented, it doesn't have to be anything deeply personal, right? But it could be things like things that they're interested in and things that they want to pursue later on after, school. Um, Projects that they're working on outside of the classroom, right? Getting to know these little tidbits can be really useful, and it really opens up the door for the kind of connections that I think will serve students well later down the line. And in the worst case scenario, there's no necessarily any like exchange or benefit that you gain from it, other than just simply getting to know somebody else, right? There's a joy in kind of hearing from different experiences and learning from other people's experiences. Um, and I think I really want to encourage specifically students that are, I mean, with community college students is a little bit different in the way that I connect with the students, but I remember teaching at these research universities and thinking, like it would be really nice if, the students had connections to people that were not other college students. It's been a thought of mine it's a thought that crossed my mind a lot of times when I would think, man, I wish that these 18 to 22-year olds, right, which majority would be, um, would hang out with people that are not 18 to 22-year olds outside of like family, right? Like you see with community college students, they have access to, because of their life circumstances. Most of them are connecting with fellow students, but they're also holding down a job. And so they're, in the professional setting with people that are older than them, that have different life experiences, that have longer life experiences. They're probably not necessarily living in dorms and confined to an environment where it's just a bunch of 18 and 22-year-olds. And so as a result, they stay a little bit more grounded, I feel like. I'm not saying that this is like somehow like professors are going to be like your grounding in these sort of settings, but I think it's always helpful to engage with people outside of just fellow college students, right? This is why I think a lot of people in the workforce, a lot of employers might feel like college students straight out of college don't feel like genuine professionals. It's probably because they haven't engaged with anybody outside of their age group in a really long time. Now, the exceptions I've seen, and I saw this back in college too. Students who are heavily involved in the alumni program were very good at engaging with different people from different backgrounds, different age groups, different generations. They were very good at it because that's part of their job. That's what they kind of did a lot of as part of the alumni program, is that they would connect with alumni, right? People who are much older than them. And if you don't have those opportunities to kind of interact, then at least your instructors are kind of a good place to start. Now, I understand that there is a power dynamic, but at the same time, like they're being paid to be there for you, right? That's what office hours are. They're being paid to be there for you. It's almost like somebody gave you money for free tutoring. You just need to show up during those times, right? So take advantage of it, right? Get your money's worth. Stop by, all right? You know, you could, if you feel uncomfortable about it, my recommendation is come in with a set of questions about the class or about certain topics that were interesting to you. It doesn't shouldn't necessarily have to be about an assignment. And you should generally stop by before it comes time to, exam periods, right? Like you should go when it's just like a middle of a week when you just learn something, discuss something new, and you're not particularly clear on it. You can make it about the subject as a starting point, but feel free to also expand the conversation to other things. I can't guarantee, and got to play it by ear, and depends on the particular instructor, but from my experiences, most of them just love engaging with students. That's been my experience. So, give it a shot. Have a normal human conversation with somebody, right? That doesn't deal with like, schoolwork necessarily, right? Try to get to know a little bit about them. Brush up on your social skills. I don't know. But in the end, please come by my office hours. It's very lonely there, very often.